Hey guys, Brady from Elite Weather Forecast, and today I'm going to be talking about the tropics because it's looking like we're about to have something come off. Before I start, I don't have it here on the screen right now, but I'm going to tell you about the shear, and we got some going on right now around Florida, just south. That's kind of not helping any tropical activity going on there. We got some south of Haiti and Puerto Rico and the Dominican right now. We got some south of there, which is a development region for sure. So nothing going on there. We also have a little bit right now on the coast of Mexico. But right now where we don't have any, that's the Gulf. Much of the Gulf right now does not have a lot of shear going on. And that's kind of setting me up to talk about the potential hurricane or tropical storm, whatever you may call it, some tropical spin up to happen around 8 or 9 days or so now. We'll play this feature for you here. A lot of the models have been looking at this for about a week now, and it's pretty clear that something is going to be happening, whether it be a tropical depression, a storm, or a major hurricane. As you can see, look at this develop right around, what is this? It's a good about 8.5 days out from now, and you can see it's August 24th. But there's going to be some development, it appears, anywhere from around August 23rd to August 26th, I would say. There's going to be some storm that is going to make an impact in the Gulf Coast. Whether this one develops, this hurricane, I'm sure many of you, if you've been following it, there's been some hurricane looks that appears to develop, as you can see it in the Pacific side. Whether that develops or not is kind of important to the location. If that one develops, then you're going to see the track of the storm head this way, because this one's going this way. So that means this one's going to follow it as well. It doesn't always, it's not like it has to, but based on where the fronts are setting up, this hurricane going this way, this one's going to follow it as well, kind of in the same path, kind of go parallel with it. If not, if this kind of breaks off before this storm in the Gulf develops, then it's probably going to head maybe there or head off towards the coast of Florida. And that's why, timing wise and where is still kind of it's kind of not sure yet of where that's going to happen. We'll play this out for you here. As you can see, kind of developing over right on the coast, according to the GFS model. Again, doesn't really have this as a strong right now. That's about a tropical storm. It has it developing as winds are checked. We're about 40-45 miles an hour, so definitely a strong storm. Take a look at the legacy model now, and as you can see, he's got that hurricane developing, and he got tropical spin up. Here, I'll show you where it is. In fact, it's got tropical spin up developing right around here, and then slowly it will develop here, I'll show you again, and there's the low pressure system. That's where it is. That's where it's developing. And look at this, just incredibly intensifies. It just rides up the coast. Look at that, going from a 1002 to not only a 981 in a 12-hour span, but in a 24-hour span, this thing's getting down, about a 30-hour span actually, to a 974. So as you can see the time frame here, this is about August 25th. We're looking at something big going on for sure. Happening again, like I said, anywhere from the 23rd to the 26th, there's going to be a storm. Don't exactly know where yet, but there's going to be a significant tropical spin up to happen. I actually want to talk to you about something little unrelated to the hurricane, this one in the Gulf. EMCFW, this is kind of interesting. There's tropical spin up right now. We got tropical downpours happening currently in Florida. But look what the EMCFW, the European model, had this storm doing. It's kind of interesting. I don't know whether this will actually pan out or not. It's very unlikely. It's incredible, actually. Freaking nature for it to happen. As you can see, low pressure system developing. Once it gets off the coast today, some severe storms for much of the eastern part of the country. And once this gets off, you can see, I'll show you where, tropical, right there, tropical spin up going on right there in that area. And as it takes this thing on to develop a little bit, look at it, it starts to develop in Georgia and gets even tighter as it gets into the Carolinas. And as it gets into West Virginia, if you're starting to follow this, you can see having that hurricane develop as well off the coast of Mexico. But look at it. It has it developing over land, a tropical spin up over land, taking this track. Meanwhile, you got the big hurricane going on in this area. As you can see, it just has this taking a track. And then look at that. That's a strong. The winds on that were tropical storm force. I checked in depth. I mean, wind gusts were anywhere from around, sustained winds were up to around 55 miles an hour. And wind gusts were all the way up over 80 miles an hour. That was a tropical storm that had developing. Different case today, different run. Today is the brand new one, actually. As you can see, and just has it developing as a low pressure system off the, not even developing. So stories change. But bringing it back now to the big hurricane, or the main system we're looking at, EMCFW has it developing as well. As you can see where the spin up is happening. I'll show you if you can't exactly see it, but right around there, right there. As you can see, not a tight formation at all or anything, but it becomes tighter and kind of develops along the coast, as you can see, right around here. And strong. I don't know if it's going to be a strong hurricane. I don't know if it's going to be a tropical depression. It could only be that if it doesn't get a chance to develop, really. But I do know for a fact there's going to be a significant storm that is going to hit the Gulf sometime between the 23rd and the 26th. So I'd put a hurricane watch right now anywhere. If you live anywhere in the Gulf, I'd be on alert, because we could have potentially a devastating storm on our way. And we're going to continue to follow this. I'm going to continue to follow this, as I have been for a week now when I started to notice this. There's certainly something in the makings, though. We're going to have to follow this closely. Make sure you follow this closely as well, because there's the potential. It's here, with not a ton of wind shear happening in the Gulf, in the area where it could develop. This bears watching. This is a storm that needs to be followed, because it has the potential to be a very big hurricane. We don't know exactly where and when yet, but we do know many people. It's starting to be talked about on the Weather Channel as well. And finally, talk about the rest of hurricane season, what may happen. I'll just put this on a loop if you want to follow this in the background. But according to the Weather Channel, we still have 86% of our hurricane season left. So if you think by any means that it's been in a completely slow season, it really hasn't been. It just hasn't been a fast season at all. So we still have tons of storms to happen. According to NOAA, when it came out with a brand new outlook about a week ago, not even, maybe 5 days ago, they said we have 10 to 17 named storms, 5 to 9 hurricanes, and 2 to 4 major hurricanes. And we've had one hurricane. So 48 more hurricanes to go this season. So if you think we're done, not even close, folks. It's going to ramp up, and the switch is going to flip like that. Peace out.